Welcome to Waters Ironworks. I am Philip and we're doing another book review today. I picked up a couple beginner blacksmithing books recently, wanted to take a look at them and some of the projects in them. So you'll be seeing those over the next few weeks. Today we're going to be looking at The Everyday Blacksmith by Nicholas Wicks. I was really impressed by this book. Let's go through kind of the major categories that I take a look at every time I do a book review, and then we'll have an in-depth discussion around why I gave it those ratings and what I really like about this book. So, for a beginner blacksmith, I gave this a 2. For an advanced blacksmith, I gave this a 0. For inspiration, I gave this a 5. And for historical blacksmithing, I gave this a 0. If you're in a We'll go through the low rankings first. If you're an advanced blacksmith, there's no new techniques that you're going to be learning from this book, right? It is really targeted at beginner blacksmiths. There's some forge welding and stuff like that in it, but there's nothing new that you're going to be learning. For historical purposes, again, this is not a history of blacksmithing sort of book. It does not really touch on that subject, so it gets a 0 there as well. For a beginner blacksmith, I gave this a 2, and that might seem strange for a book that I would recommend for a beginner blacksmith. This is not a book about how to blacksmith. There is a very brief section at the beginning that talks a little bit about the different terminology in blacksmithing, the parts of the anvil, some kind of very basic stuff. But I don't think it's really enough to get you going as a beginning blacksmith. If you are looking at something that is going to give you kind of the full introduction, you've never done any blacksmithing before, you're going to be much better off with some other beginning blacksmithing books. You can see a list of those on my website where I've got them ranked, and you can take a look at what I think are the best beginning blacksmithing books out there. Where this book really excels, though, is in the inspiration category. Especially as a new blacksmith, it can be hard to figure out what you want to make, right? Blacksmithing will let you make a whole lot of stuff, but that can be kind of overwhelming, and having a list of projects with simple step-by-step guidance, including variations, which is not something that I've seen in a lot of other blacksmithing books. A great example of text with images supporting it. Overall, just a wonderful job that Nicholas does. And I'll flip this open. We'll give you some close-up shots of some of the projects. Things like this clover leaf and hook. Some really cute ideas. This easy display easel, I think, does a great job of showing how the images support a pretty complicated little project. And there are just a wide variety of all kinds of simple, easy to make blacksmithing projects. When I was reading through this, there were a lot of these that I was interested in making. I think there's a lot of stuff in here that is great to sell. If you're a blacksmith who is looking at going to your first farmer's market or craft fair or something like that, and you're debating, what do I go out and make? This book will do a great job of walking you through a lot of projects that I think would be extremely popular sellers that you can make fast and that you could potentially make some reasonable money with. So overall, buy a blacksmithing book that teaches you how to blacksmith if you're a new blacksmith, that gives you the basics of hammer control, how to get your fire going, anvil, all those sorts of things. And then I would recommend picking this one up as one of those first couple book purchases, just because of the number of projects in there and the quality of those projects, and then the variations on how you can take a project and make some changes to it. It is, I think, a great inspirational book for beginner blacksmith. And so you will see me make a number of the things out of here because there's some pretty easy things and they look honestly pretty fun. So I think Nicholas has put together a great book for a beginner blacksmith, or even somebody who's in the intermediate and advanced. If you're looking for a couple fun project ideas, This is a good book, and it's got great photos in it again, nice high quality pictures that do a good job of explaining what's going on. Thank you so much, and we'll see you in the shop.